Hi guys! I know I'm a little bit early. We have 6 minutes to spare. So we'll see who pops on up here. Hi Rebecca! Hi! Say hi to me when you guys pop up. I knew it. Are you gonna come in or come out? Lay down. I have my heater on in here because it gets cold up in here. Okay. Thank you. I actually painted that. That's why it's so uneven. Hi guys. I'm so excited to have you guys here. So, hey, before we start, any comments, or not any comments, any questions that you guys have for me, write them down, and then you guys can ask me at the end, and I'll kind of hopefully be able to answer your questions. But I'll give it another minute or so. You guys can tag your teamies up here too. I know I wasn't supposed to start till 6 my time, 9 o'clock I think y'all's time. I don't know if everyone's from there, but let me actually turn this off. I get super heated when I talk, and I'm probably gonna break out in hives because I still get nervous when I speak to people, especially people I don't necessarily know. Hi guys. So, I wanted to change this. So, how are y'all's business going right now? Businesses. Are y'all going through like a struggle season? Are you still in a thriving season? Tell me how it's going. No one? So, I'll probably start in like 1 minute. Thanks for showing up, y'all. Are most of you guys from California? Yeah. I've been doing this for 3 years and I still get nervous. So, well, thank you. Yeah, I get it. I'm gonna kind of talk about that, about the struggle season and the seasons where we thrive. Ooh, you just moved to Colorado. Cool. Cool. So my question, well, I mean, we haven't even really gotten the full list of earners for the Colorado trip, but I am excited to go to Colorado. Colorado's actually always been on my dream places to go. My list of places that I've always dreamed to go to. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and start. So, I know. Okay, so I'm gonna introduce myself. Okay. Dog hair on my lip, y'all. That's my wife, okay? A little bit about myself. My name's Rachel. I go by Ray or Ray Ray, and that's just because my parents spelled my name like Rochelle, so no one knows how to pronounce it. I answer to Rochelle, but it's really pronounced as Rachel. And on the workstation, my name is Rachel Spear, but I am married, so technically my name is, I should be changing it soon to Rachel Anderson. But I've been doing Scentsy for 3 years, and 3 years back in October, so over 3 years now, and here I am. And the first thing I want to say is thank you, Rihanna, for inviting me to talk to your girls. I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are excited, and I hope that you guys find some value in this training. But a little bit about me. So I'm actually from the East Coast. I'm from I'm from Moyock, North Carolina, which you guys are probably have like, where is that? If you're familiar with the Outer Banks, I grew up about 45 minutes from the Outer Banks. So I spent all of my summers on the Outer Banks beaches. If you've never been to the Outer Banks, highly recommend it. It's completely different from California or the West Coast, okay? Completely different. And I know that because my sister actually lived in California for 3 years, and so I went and visited her in San Diego, visited the beaches there. They are completely different, absolutely beautiful, but our beaches are beautiful too. One of our beaches actually is called Corolla. We have wild horses on those beaches. So if you guys have never been to the Outer Banks, come visit. So my husband is from Murfreesboro, North Carolina, which is where we live now. Oh, cool. Which is where we live now. It's literally, y'all, in the middle of freaking nowhere, okay? The boondocks. I thought where I grew up was like the boonies because we were like 30 minutes from the nearest Target. Yeah, now I'm an hour and 20 minutes from the nearest Target, okay? That's my life. But it's okay. I still love it. But yes, he drugged me out here. So if my connection goes bad, you know, okay? Now you know. We don't have any children yet, hopefully this year, but we do have fur babies. You can I might have to kick my male dog out because you can probably hear him snoring. Tuck. Don't be snoring. We have 3 labs, 2 chocolates, and then a black lab mix. They are my world. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram, but you know that I love my dogs if you follow me on Instagram. So yeah, all right, let's start. So I'm going to be talking about consistency. I am a huge believer in consistency, and I'm not just talking about your business. Like, you have to be consistent in all areas of your life in order to see results, right? You have to be consistent in the gym. You have to be consistent with, putting healthy foods into your body. You have to be consistent in your relationships. Your relationship isn't going to thrive if you're not consistent with it, right? Relationships with your children, with your family, with your friends, with your spouse, your significant other, whoever it is. You have to be consistent with all of those things, okay? Same thing. If you have a job that you go to every day that's not Scentsy, right? Let's say that you have a full-time job. Scentsy not your full-time job. Maybe Scentsy is your full-time job, but it's more of like your hustle full-time job versus your full-time job that you go to Monday through Friday or whatever your schedule is, right? You have to be consistent with going to work, right? So consistency is literally the key to everything. Once you master being consistent, the rest will come, okay? That includes your business, your Scentsy business. So let's talk about your Scentsy business. How are you going to remain consistent? Easy. Systems. I am a huge believer in systems. I'm actually going to show you some of my personal systems, and then after this training, I will actually post my personal system that has been a huge game changer for me. But before we talk about systems, I want you guys to actually kind of reflect and look at what type of learner are you, right? What type of person are you? Are you a visual person? Are you a person that likes lists, right? Do you thrive off of lists, being able to check something off? Do you like something being on your phone? Let me add that to my thing, actually, my list over here, so I don't forget. I'm literally a squirrel, y'all, so that's why I gotta write this down before I forget. What type of person are you? Do you like a planner? Do you want everything to be on your computer, right? There's multiple different systems that you can use. So when I upload my system, I want you to download it, okay? If it's something that's going to work for you. If you're not a list person, my system is not going to work for you. So you can download it and then edit it to work for your brain. All of our brains work differently, okay? We all work differently. So you have to edit it to make it work for you. If it's not going to work for you, you're not going to do it. What happens when you don't do it? When you're not following up with your system? Your consistency is off. And that's when everything else goes off, right? So I will upload that at the end. But you have to have a system, okay? Because your brain is never going to remember every single thing you have to do for your business, okay? I don't care how much you think you are going to remember that you sent Janet down the street a new catalog or a thank you card in the mail for ordering off your website. You're not going to remember. You're not going to remember. You might remember Janet, but you're not going to remember the 10 other people that ordered off your website. You're going to be like, oh, okay, did I send her that or did I not? Okay, and then you're going to have to text her and be like, hey, did I send you something in the mail? Don't act like that's never been you, because that's been me multiple times, and that's when I was like, okay, something needs to change, something needs to give. So, all right, so systems. I personally have, this is my overall system, okay? This is the one I'm going to upload for you guys. And I live off sticky notes, okay? So, I have two different systems. I have one for my personal business and I have one for my team and my group, okay? So, for example, these are all lists. This is for the entire 2021 year, okay? So, these are the months right here. You guys might have probably already seen this. If you follow Chastity Robinson, I got this idea from her, but I put my own stuff in these blocks, okay? I am not the person to go to if you want me to make an Excel sheet, okay? Ain't happening. I go to Chastity Robinson. So she actually made this grid Excel sheet. I went in and edited every single thing in here to work for my brain, my business, how I work my business, okay? And that's what I want you guys to do if you like lists. So for example, this is for my team. For example, the first week of every month, my business is what I focus on, okay? My business comes first. Why? If my business is not thriving, why would I expect my teamies' businesses to thrive? I cannot help someone else until my business is taken care of. Because at the end of the day, we are all independent business owners, right? We are independent Scentsy business owners. So they have to realize when they signed up to be independently a consultant with Scentsy. They didn't sign up because I was going to show them every single thing and handhold them the whole way. I am not a handholder at all. My teamies know that. So the first week of every month is all about my business. If I have teamies text me, of course I'm going to text them back, but I don't do coaching calls. I might do one training a week in that first week. It really just depends on what I'm personally doing in my business, but my training is going to reflect what I'm doing in my personal business, and so forth. But I highly suggest having one for your personal business and your teamies, because the teamie one is really the one that keeps me on track for remembering, oh, let me send emails to new people that just joined. Oh, let me send emails for top recruits, top sales, okay? So I will upload those. If you guys have questions, definitely post them in the comments as I'm going, okay? I'm looking for them. So this system is going to keep you on track with your other systems, okay? So for example, on my, okay, let's see. The first week of every month, I send team group postcards, okay? I also send a team and a group email, meaning that I look at the previous month's stats, our GWV, our TWV, I look at top sales, I look at top recruits, I look at who promoted, I look at who was paid at title, who had high TWV. I put it all in this email, and then I send it out to everyone. And that basically shows people like, hey, if you want to, be in this email, you want to aim to have high PRV. You want to aim to recruit as many people as you can, because that's how you grow. So you want to reward the behaviors that you want repeated, okay? And I will say, I recently, in the last like 3 months, started email templates. They are a game changer. If you are not doing that, I highly suggest it. I've gotten a lot of messages on Instagram recently in the last week asking me about what app I use for my emails, and I don't use an app. All I do is I go in my Google Drive, I open up a new it's not a Google form, it's just a Google Doc. I type out my emails exactly how I want them. I put the color in them and everything, and then I highlight everything and paste it into the email section of the workstation. So I'm not sure why people think that I use an email template. I definitely don't. But it is much easier. I literally just, like, I'll show you guys. Hold on. Let me show you guys an example. Okay. Take this off. Okay, so for example, this is my welcome email I'm sending tomorrow to, I send this once a month to recent recruits, and it's the same email that I'm copying and pasting to new people, okay? But let's say, okay, right here. This is for my team, okay? So this is my team email that I send every month. It looks the exact same. Sometimes I change up, like I change up this wording up here to something fun, like you knocked it out of the park or something like that. I put a fun quote up there. And then all I do is change out like December. I'll change that to January. Then I come down and I change out our TWV. And then I change out the names for top sales and so forth. But I never change any of this, okay? And I basically just describe, okay, what does it mean if you're sponsoring someone? Like, why am I shouting people out? What does it mean? Why is it important to have active frontline? And then I talk about promotions and so forth, okay? This looks the exact same every single month, except for I change out the names and I change out just a few like fun wording right here, okay? So, definitely try that if you haven't, because it will literally change the game. I even use email templates for my customers, okay? I have email templates every month for my customers. If anything new releases, my template looks the same. I just change out the pictures and I change out a little bit of the wording. It's literally a game changer. And it's super easy because let's say that I like forgot to, I don't know, let's say that it's like the 5th of the month and I'm out and about and I forgot to send this email. All I have to do is go to my Google Drive app on my phone, select everything, and copy and paste it into the workstation and send it. So definitely try that. Okay, so let's go back. Tell me what kind of systems y'all use. Like, are you more of like a paper to pen, or do you like electronic? I'm gonna sit here till someone comments. I'll do it. Okay, paper, pen, and planner. Okay, so I love paper to pen. The only thing digital that I use are my email templates, obviously, because I'm emailing them. And then I do use a customer tracker email template and a Scentsy Club email template. But I am a paper to pen person. So like, even though I have a list up here for like to tell me what to do so I can cross it off, I use sticky notes out the wazoo. It's ridiculous. Well, I'm glad that you guys like AMI or Amy, whatever. I don't really use Amy that often. I've tried it and I couldn't it just wasn't working for me. I think the reminders on my phone were just like getting too much for me. But I'm glad that y'all like it. So, as long as you have a system, yeah, I'm a sticky note freak. It's ridiculous. I literally have sticky notes everywhere. And then I'm like, why do I have so many sticky notes? So as long as you have a system, like, your business will thrive. Now, let's also talk on the other aspects of coaching, recruiting. This is where it gets hard. Sometimes we feel like, can y'all hear my dog snoring? Like, is it bothering y'all? I can kick him out. If it is, just let me know. But sometimes that's where the hard part comes into play, is trying to train someone and then trying to train people who don't necessarily want it as bad as you do. And I just want to remind you that you don't have to be perfect all the time as a leader. I'm sorry, you don't have to be perfect at all. What I meant is you're allowed to have days off. Okay, you're allowed to have off days. But I don't know if you guys do this. I think it's super important to be transparent with your team, with the people in your group. When you're having an off day, tell them. You don't have to give them the full details. Just tell them, hey, I'm having an off day. I'd appreciate if, I just had some alone time. Because what that does is it shows them that, hey, it's okay to not be on your game 24/7. Because they look at us as their leader and they're like, oh my God, she has it all together. Like, she's doing this, and this. She's showing up on her Instagram stories. She's showing up on Facebook doing lives. She's already done all of her team mail. She's done all of her customer mail. And I'm over here like, oh my God, I don't know what to do next. And it's okay to show them, hey, it's okay to have an off day. It's okay to not finish 2 of the things on your list for that week. You can go back later and get to it. That was one of the things that I was struggling with in the beginning, was showing people that, hey, I'm struggling. It's normal. We're human. We all struggle. We all have life events. We all go through life. It doesn't matter who you are. Life happens. I don't care if you're a mom. I don't care if you're a dog mom. I don't care if you do Scentsy full time or you work 5 other jobs. Like, we all have life events, and it's okay to have an off day and to step back and to reset. And I think that is super important, to come and be upfront with your teamies and the people in your group and say, hey, I'm struggling. I want you guys to know that. Once they know that you're human, they are more likely to step up to the plate too. Okay? So, lead from the front, but it is okay to have an off day and to be transparent with them, okay? Don't expect your team to do something that you are not doing. I see this happen with a lot of leaders. They blame, like, hey, I'm not paid a title because of my team. And I'm like, hold up. You only have 500 PRV, and yes, that's the minimum that you need to get paid a title, but you're expecting the other 30 people on your team to get you to director numbers, but you're only at 500, when you could easily be pushing harder to have higher PRV and to recruit more people. This is my goal. Every month, I want to be at the top of my team and at the top of my group every single month. Not because it's a competition. But because I'm in a competition with myself. I'm not in a competition with the other people in my group or in my team. But if I expect my team and my group to give it all they've got, I need to give it all that I've got. And I see that is where so many leaders fall short, is they expect all the other people to get them to the end goal, but they're not willing to give it all they've got themselves. And that bothers me. So, lead from the front. Never expect anyone in your team, anyone in your group to do something that you are not willing to do. If you're telling someone in your group, hey, go live with a training today, but you haven't done a training in a month, there's a problem here. Okay? Okay, this is my 2021 goal. This is my 2021 goal. It is to learn what my teamies' goals are, or aspirations, or dreams. I truly believe that when you focus on the people will grow your business. And I say that because in 2020, our group, in 2020, January of 2020, we had a group of, it was in the 300s. And right now, we have a group of 1,300. It might even be at 1,400. That's a ridiculous amount of growth. We have 2 SDs. We have a girl, one of my SDs is super close to SSD. And it's because we were focusing on the people, right? Focus on the people, and the people will grow your business. But one thing that I was falling short in the last 6 months is I was tired, and I was using that as an excuse. I was still getting my PRV, and I was still recruiting, but my training went down. And training people is the hard part of this business, because you have to show up for it. And so my goal for 2021 is to learn my teamies' dreams and aspirations. I want to know what they are. Once I know what they are, I can help them reach their goals, which in return will help me reach mine. And I really had to, the last 6 months, I think I was just burnt out of just coaching in general. And I had to figure out how to get back into that mentality, because I used to love getting on the phone and talking to people and training them and teaching them all things Scentsy. And then I don't really know what happened, but it was just I got burnt out. So I knew once I get burnt out, I know that I have to find another way to coach people. And so what I did, this is something you guys can do. I went and made a Google form. And I put questions on there I think I was also burned out because, you guys know this. Some people want it, some people don't. You know the people that want it. And it can get exhausting trying to coach someone who says they want it, but their actions don't match what they're saying, and that can really burn you out. So I was like, okay, 2021, I need to figure something out. So I made a Google form. I made one for our directors, and I made one for my frontline. So I named it Ray's Frontline Review for 2021 Success. And I sent this to my entire frontline, okay, an email to my entire frontline. And I have over 50 frontline, probably close, I probably have 60. I don't know exactly, but it's around 50 or 60. And I think I had maybe 10 fill this out, okay? 10 or 15 maybe. It was a low number compared to how many frontline I have. Anyway, I had questions on here what are your 2021 business goals? Please provide in detail. What do you want Scentsy to be the vessel to? Example, to leave my full-time job I hate, or to be able to pay for my son to go to college, or to be able to open up my own coffee shop. This is the bigger picture. It's your dream. Scentsy is not your dream. It is not your dream to be an SSD. Your dream is much further than Scentsy. Scentsy is just going to help you get there. What are your personal 2021 goals? I want to know, what are your self-care goals? Do you have a personal goal, you and your husband to, I don't know, go on date nights more? Do you have a personal goal to be able to travel more, to take your kids, traveling more, whatever the case may be? Have you printed these goals out and put them somewhere so you can see them daily? Do you have an action plan for how to reach those goals? What's your goal paycheck with Scentsy? Do you have an action plan to reach that goal paycheck? I have a weekly motivational text. It's like a weekly motivation challenge text alerts. It's only for my frontline. If you guys have never heard of it, it's called HIT up EM. Hit them up. I think you can try it free for like 2 weeks or something. But then after that, it's not that expensive, but it's basically like a mass text app that I pay for. My frontliner in it. You can also group people in it. I recently started that a couple months ago, probably 3 months ago, 2 months ago. And every Monday I send the frontline who opted in for it. You have to opt in for it. And I send them a challenge. And the challenge is like not hard, but it's like things that they wouldn't probably do on their own. So like one of the challenges in the past have been show up on your social platform once a day on video every day. And then it's up to them. Like they don't have to check in with me or anything, but they seem to love it. So if that's something you're interested, definitely try that hit them up thing. And it, like when I send the text alerts or when I send the mass text, it doesn't show everyone else getting those texts. So it's literally like I'm personally texting them individually. And then also on here it says, how would you like to train with me one-on-one? I used to do coaching calls, okay? Used to do coaching calls. They ended up being like 20, 30 minutes long. The problem with coaching calls is that I got stood up a lot. And it was because what I'm assuming it was is that it wasn't a priority to coach with me. Because at the end of the day, if I was their employer and we had an actual meeting, they would have shown up, right? So one of the things I wanted to change was how I was coaching. So no more coaching calls. Okay, sorry. My connection is apparently bad. I don't know what. I pick 4 to 5 people each month, and I text them before the month ends. So like for February, I already have my February people picked out. I texted them last week, and I was like, hey, I have you on my list of people to work with for the entire month of February. Get ready, okay? And I go off of this list. I go off of these questions. I start with like a text only specifically asking them, hey, do you have your 2021 goals? Do you have them already typed out or written down, however you want it? If they say yes, I'm like, okay, have you printed them out and have you put them somewhere where you're going to see them every single day? Most of them have said no, and I'm like, okay, well, that's your first thing that I want you to do. Text me when you do it. So it's just simple task coaching. That's what I'm doing this year. And I'm going to see if it works. And I'm going to reevaluate in probably like 3 months. Probably March or April, I'm going to reevaluate and see if it's working, because that's what we do as leaders, right? We reevaluate and we're like, okay, this isn't working, throw it out. Oh, this is working, keep it. I do that all the freaking time. So that is how I am working. But anything, guys, there's no right or wrong way to coach or to be a leader. There's no right or wrong way, and that's the beauty of being a leader. The only thing that I can tell you guys is whatever you decide to do, be consistent with it, okay? So if you're going to do team postcards, do them every month. If you're going to send emails shouting out top PRV, do them every month, or do them however often you do them. But don't just do it 1 month and then fall off and then come back 3 months later. That is how you lose trust, okay? And once you lose trust, it is so hard to gain it back. It is so hard to gain it back. And I've watched so many leaders lose trust in their people, and then they come to me and they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to, they're not listening to me. And I'm like, I mean, you fell off the face of the earth for 6 months. No one heard from you. So what do you expect? If you didn't go to your job, your corporate job, your full-time job, your 9-to-5 job for 6 months, do you think that you'd be able to walk back in the door and just get your job back and just sit back at your computer and start working again? No. I was a nurse for 5 years. I had my BSN. If I didn't show up for even one shift, and didn't call out and didn't tell anyone what was going on, do you think that I'd be able to walk back into the hospital doors? No, I wouldn't, because they would not trust me with the other staff that I was working with, and they would definitely not trust me with my patients. So you have to show up. It's the same thing with your Scentsy business. And one more thing, and then I'll be done. It starts with you, okay? It starts with you. I was just talking about this the other day, and I did a post on our director page. I recently have seen that it's like the same directors showing up. It's the same leaders showing up. It's the same leaders doing live trainings, doing trainings in general, posting like valuable content with IPAs. And I was like, okay, there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. We have, now this is mine and Katie Lassiter's group together. I'm under Katie Lassiter. She's my sponsor. She's also an SSD, but we have our director page together. And so in that director page, we have roughly 60 directors. I think it's a little bit more than that, but it's only like maybe a total of like 5 or 6 directors that are actually showing up, sharing content, sharing valuable information. I was like, okay, there's a problem. We have 60 plus directors, and we only have like 5 to 10 showing up, ourselves included. I was like, okay, so there's like something missing. Somewhere down the line, people stopped pushing people out of their comfort zones, okay? I am a huge believer in getting uncomfortable. If you're not willing to get uncomfortable, you're going to stay stagnant and nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. So, my philosophy, when I get a new person that joins my team, I'm going to tell them, hey, go live with your kit. Odds are they've never gone live in their life, okay? You might get the random person who's like, ooh, I'd love to go live. Your girl had never gone live before until Scentsy, okay? And it was a terrible experience, my first experience. If it ever pops up on my Facebook timeline, I would love to share it because I would love to laugh along with you guys, okay? Terrible. And so, but going live for the first time was the best thing I had ever done for my business. Best thing. Not just my business, my self-confidence. And so that's the first thing I do is I push them a little bit at a time out of their comfort zone. I'm not going to say, hey, go live for an hour, and then I want you to go talk to 15 people you've never talked to at the grocery store. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to push them out entirely, but I am going to give them little pushes, just little pushes. So if you are not pushing your teamies out of their comfort zone to get uncomfortable, you are doing them and yourself and your business and their business a disservice. Push them out just a little bit. So anytime they text you and they say, I don't care who it is on your group, oh my God, I just got my first order. I'm going to say, yes, girl, that's a win. I need you to share that on our leader page or our team page. It would be our team page. They wouldn't be a leader yet. Share that on our team page and tell us how you got that order. Like, is it because you connected with that person? Just screenshot the conversation so we can see, okay, how did you go about talking to her about Scentsy? People learn from that. Same thing with leaders. When leaders text me and they're like, oh my God, I just promoted to, I don't know, SSC. Okay, share that on the leadership page. How did you promote to SSC? Break it down for us. Tell us what you needed to promote. You'd be so shocked at the fact that so many consultants don't even know our compensation plan. They don't even know what they need to to promote. So if they are celebrating even the smallest things, tell them to go share it. That is going to boost their confidence. I've had so many people come to me with their wins, and I'm like, why don't you share that with everyone else? And they literally say, well, I don't think it's good enough to share. Well, why don't you think it's good enough to share that you just booked 10 parties from a post you just did? It's most definitely worth sharing, and you can help someone else by sharing it. Just by doing that little that little action by telling her, hey, go post that, that's a push. That's a push saying, okay, she says it's not worthy to post it on the team page, but I'm saying, hey, it is. There's my little push. She's going to go and post it on the team page. In return, there's going to be so many other people on the team page commenting saying, oh my God, thank you so much for sharing this. This is awesome. I'm going to try this. I'm going to do this tomorrow. And then they come back and they're like, hey, I did this. I did that post that you shared yesterday. And I also got 6 parties booked. And then boom, you just showed her that what she's doing is worthy enough to share. And now she's sharing like this. So I did a post on my director page and I said, look, somewhere along the line, someone dropped the ball, okay? Because it is your duty to push your front line out. And in return, the people that join under your front line should be pushing out of their bubble, out of their comfort zone, and so forth. But someone stopped pushing. Once you stop pushing, they stop learning. They stop growing. It's the same thing with children. It's the same thing with dogs. If you never taught your kid how to tie their shoe, where would they be in life? If you never taught your kid how to ride a bike, where would they be in life? If you never taught your kid how to pronounce certain words, where would they be? Same thing with your dogs. If you never taught your dogs how to pee outside and not inside on your carpet, you'd be cleaning up a mess right now. It's the same thing. You have to push them out of that bubble that they are so used to being in. So, it all starts with you. Consistency starts with you. Lead from the front. The rest will follow. The people will follow. Lead from the front and they will follow your actions. But if you're not leading from the front, don't expect much growth. So, that's all, y'all. Focus on the people and the people will grow your business. I 100% believe that. Do you guys have any questions for me? It's almost 10 o'clock here. All right, guys. Well, if you guys do have any questions later, you can drop them in the comments and just tag me, and then I'll be able to see them so I can answer. But thank you guys for showing up. I hope you guys loved it. And Rihanna, thank you so much for having me. You guys have a great night.